do transition over into this blogging atmosphere, but everything does tie into what you are all learning and hoping to do. And if I'm understanding that correctly, some of that's marketing communications, PR, what else? Broadcast. Am I missing something? Okay. We all kind of have, if you heard me do the interview with Patrick earlier, we all kind of have these same skills and talents that are good in all of these elements. And so I don't want you to be deterred by the fact that I'm talking a lot about TV in the beginning, and you're sitting here thinking, I don't want to go into TV, that has nothing to do with me. It does, and we'll circle back to that in a little bit. I started in Huntington, West Virginia. Has anyone ever been there? The home of Marshall University? Mm-hmm. Are you from there? Or no. Okay, no. So that's where I got my first job out of school. And your first job in broadcast news is to do it all. You start in a town that is not really a city, it's very small. You don't make a lot of money, and you are just the yes man. You need to say yes to every opportunity that comes your way. So I was offered a spot to be a reporter and then the weekend producer. I really didn't have aspirations to be a producer. I wanted to be in front of the camera and doing a lot of writing, and this job was not that. And I thought, well, I'm gonna take it because I feel like maybe I can prove myself and work my way up. And I did, but at the same time, what I didn't realize was happening was that I was gaining all of this knowledge as the weekend producer as to what a producer needs for his or her show. And that in turn made me a better reporter. It made me a better communicator. So when I was out in the field, I knew that by 5:45 p.m., my producer needed X, Y, and Z so that they could get their show on the air, and they had their information for teases, for example, for their promotions, for the 6 o'clock newscast. So that made me a better, well-rounded individual. I was also what we call a one-man band, and I was out with my tripod, my camera, driving the car myself, making the calls, setting everything up, and I was in the field alone. Scared the heck out of me sometimes with some of the doors that I knocked on, but that gave me so much exposure that I am incredibly grateful for. It also was one of the worst places mentally and emotionally that I have ever been. It was a space that was negative. It had leadership that was poor, and it became a burden for me. But every day I went to work, and every day I was kind of beaten down. And I really thought, how much more of this can I take? So then my contract is up, and approaching, I should say, and someone in the leadership role comes to me to talk about that, and they offer me the main anchor spot. So here I am, 24, I think, years old, and I'm getting a main anchor gig. This is kind of what you dream of when you're in news and you think you're not going to get there till your 30s or your 40s. And this is right in front of me, and I couldn't take it because I wasn't happy, I wasn't fulfilled. And I also wanted to be challenged a little bit more and move up in markets. I knew I still had some more growth to do. And if I stayed, even though it was the title that I wanted, I was a mess. So I turned it down respectfully. And I had about 2 months left on my contract when that leader came in and handed me my severance check and said, today's your last day. So out of spite, I was let go. And that was kind of the norm for everyone at the time that I was working with. People were getting let go left and right. So again, that's why you have to have your resume real, or your written resume ready to go at any time, because you never know what's gonna happen. I never thought in a million years that I would be let go, because I was a valued employee. I was a valued storyteller there. Even though it was negative, I was told at least that I was their go-to person. And so I remember that morning, I went out and shot a story. I came back, and that's when they handed me the severance check. And so in the middle of the day, before I don't even get to edit my story or put it on air, I drive back to my apartment, and I just get inside because I held in all the emotion, and I just hit the floor sobbing. Like that sobbing that you can't control. Because I thought, what is this gonna mean for me? I've been let go from a job, yet they valued me and they told me they liked me. What's gonna be next?